Welcome to the ITM podcast.
This is episode 271 of the ITM podcast, the official Boston Red Sox podcast of the CLNS Media Network, brought to you by Prize Picks, the exclusive daily fantasy partner of the CLNS Media Network and the Boston Red Sox. They play a game today, Scott. My name is Joey Copponi. That's Scott Neville. Scott, how you doing?
Dude, that was insane what you just did there. You just hit like a note and held it there that I didn't think you would be capable of. I'm ready to go. It's good stuff.
Dude, yeah, a little vibrato. I took an opera class just for this.
It sounded like it.
Thank you, dude. A lot of stuff to get to. This is our season predictions episode for the 2025 Major League Baseball season. So there are a lot of predictions to get to. There is some news, I guess, if we want to lead off with it. This is a segment called Yeah, No Shit. Alex Cora, manager of the Red Sox. You guys know him. You love him. He's here for a little bit longer. He's got a contract extension. He's sticking around. You remember him. He announced Devers is the DH and Bregman's playing third, which, I mean, holy shit, Scott, rocked my world. Your instant reaction when you saw that news?
Yeah,
it sounds about right. Anybody else want to chime in? You guys can hit us up in the DMs. We're always here to listen, be your therapists. If you guys were stunned, shocked, bamboozled, even maybe hootenannied by this, which I don't think is the correct use of hootenanny, but I can't say I get to work that word into my vocabulary all too often, so I'm going to take every opportunity I can, even if it's incorrectly used. Okay, we got some predictions. I'm a little jazzed. Can you tell?
Yeah, you get a little pep in your step.
I got a little spunk to me today.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, dude. You know what it is? It's that opening day. I can smell the peanuts, dude. Not the peanuts, dude. I can smell the peanuts, dude.
Oh, yeah, because that would be weird.
If you walked in the ballpark and you're like, I just
smells-
want to smell the peanuts guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably just smells like peanuts, if I had to guess.
He probably smells bad. I mean, they're walking around in the middle of August, 95 degrees. They're walking around carrying a big old thing. I guess the peanuts aren't too heavy, but there's other guys who are carrying around the beer guys.
Yeah, but the big metal cases, though, I feel like they have them in, regardless of the item. I feel like that's what's really hurting you.
But I think the peanuts have like a bag. It's like a burlap sack.
That's, yeah.
It's like a hobo. Like they have like a bindle over their shoulder that they just throw. They have 2 bags of peanuts in there, then they have to go fill up again. But who's buying peanuts? People buying peanuts still?
I've worked peanut butter, not peanuts. Largely into my diet lately, so maybe I'll throw it in there.
I mean, you go to the game, are you buying a bag of raw peanuts?
No, absolutely not.
You know who's probably
Just
doing that is there you go.
What do you? No, come on, dude.
Okay, I'll go. I was gonna say, I think the people who are doing that are probably like the tourists who like are in Boston and like want to see Fenway Park while they're there and think, oh, I'll get peanuts. Maybe I'll get a bag of Cracker Jacks. Do they actually sell Cracker Jacks? And then a Fenway Frank, I got to get one of those. So like that's when you're just trying to check all your boxes. That's probably who that's for. Now let's talk about what those tourists are going to see this year. Scott, we got a prediction. Did you do your predictions? I sent them to you a little later than I said I was going to.
Yeah, like what, a few hours ago? Yeah, I did them. I don't love them. I like them. I like last year's better, if I'm being real.
You didn't like the categories or you didn't like your answers?
My answers.
Okay. Your answers last year, you nailed one. And then I'm pretty sure everything else was garbage.
Okay, well, first of all, I had Yoshida as MVP, so like, yeah,
yes.
I had a couple misses, but I just liked the creativity of my answers last year, and this year, kind of just chalk stuff,
I went outside the box a little bit a couple of times, but there's also certain things that's like the chalk is going to be the right answer, Like last year. Last year there was a couple that like, oh, Oh, that like I wouldn't have predicted that. Like Tyler O'Neill having more homers than Devers. Like that's definitely, second in terms of odds. If you're looking down, you know, the odds there, Tyler O'Neill probably would have been like a plus 180. So like there's some of that. There's some of that. I think the record is really what we're getting at. That's the big reveal, no?
I guess. I think the bold and the weird predictions are probably the best content. At least I would have said that last year. Again, I don't love mine this year.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, let's get to it.
But I think that's what I'd be most excited to hear from you. Like your weird prediction. That's probably what I'd be most excited to hear. And I'm just gonna let you know mine's not that fun. Like last year, I feel like I had a fun one.
I don't remember what yours was, but I do remember thinking it was weird. And I remember thinking like you nailed the difference between weird and bold.
Bold. Yeah, mine last year was that you're not going to learn a lot about this team because we had so many like Whitlock was what I had in my, like we still don't know what the hell he is. You know what I mean?
Nobody
like,
knows.
That was kind of the emphasis. Rafaela, we don't know, whatever. But that was last year. So I got a worse one for you in a couple minutes.
Then let's get to it. All right, our first prediction of the 2025 Red Sox season. Scott, you're going to take the floor on this one. Who will lead the Boston Red Sox in home runs, and how many will they have?
Well, so here's the thing, Joey.
Here's the ding.
I know you're, right off the rip. I mean, what a mess. I knew that. I know you're gonna go Casas, so I went Devers, and I went with 38. And I figure, you know what? He's our new DH. Let's just have him, good shoulders and rake. Like he's finally, if he could play 162, I think 40 is very possible. I went with 38 because we're just not that fun. We haven't done 40 in a while as a team. So I think it's Devers, and I'm going to go with 38. I think I think he's going to be able to play more games this year.
Scott, I like where your head's at in that Devers is going to play more games. I also think that being off his feet is going to be a good thing for him.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe halfway through this year, there's something will click in Devers' head where he realizes like, oh shit, maybe I'm a better ball player when I'm not, beating myself up for making an error or, banged up because I made a throw I probably can't make and my shoulder's taking a little more beating than it should. And come September, I'm really trying to play through it, but I'm not really hitting like myself. And that's why I got him leading the team with 41.
I can't believe you went against Costas. You hate him this year.
I just wanted. This is one that it's so easy to picture. They're like, oh, of course, Devers has a breakout year in his like DH season, not breakout year, but you know what I mean, like a year that exceeds his prior offensive stats. He's 28 years old. This is the prime of a baseball player. Is like 28 to 32. This is the prime of his career. He's only getting better and getting off of his feet and has something to play for. He's a little pissy. And this is the first time where he's a grown-ass man and the team is good. It's been a while. He was a baby boy the last time that the Red Sox were good. So I don't see why he wouldn't be all systems go this year, dude. Speaking of little baby boys, dude, are you going to tell the people that you're expecting?
No.
Oh, okay. I'll keep that a secret then. Speaking of baby boys, our next prediction is when will Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer debut in the major leagues, if at all? What do you got?
I think the real answer is when they're the next man up, like in terms of injuries. But I would say if I had to guess perfectly healthy season, I would say late May/June. I would say May 15th through June is the window I went with.
For both of them?
Yeah.
May 15th to the end of June?
Yeah. Is that too big of a range?
It's a big range for both of them. Don't get me wrong. I got Meyer coming up first. I think that he's like an undeniable right now. I think he gets like a month of regular at-bats in AAA, and they make room for him. Even if it's something like, David Hamilton, like I think they make room for him. I think they get him up. And I know a big part of Meyer's development has been getting him regular at bats, and that they don't want to like platoon him. I think he's going to be undeniable. I think he already this spring looked damn close to undeniable. So I think he comes up first. I think it's May. And I got Anthony in June. I'm going to, without wishing it on anybody, I'm going to say that's probably an injury. That Anthony comes up because of an injury.
I think the outfield depth is definitely, like, I agree with you. I think Meyer's going to come up first because I think even though the Red Sox might tab Anthony as just a little bit ahead, I think it's a lot easier to envision Meyer squeaking his way into middle infield than it is the outfield, which is relatively stacked. Like, even if you have Ref Snyder or Willier goes down, Ref Snyder could still play every day. You forget he's actually a very good baseball player. Like, there's just I don't know, that's just a good group out there.
There's too many good players. It really is insane when you go down the Red Sox lineup. It's like, yeah, all these guys fucking rock. Like, not to just throw guys under the bus, but like you do look at some of the guys like Ref Snyder and think like, God, these are all guys that could be traded. Like these guys should be Major League Baseball players, and the Red Sox are like too good for them to be playing. And like there's a legitimate return for guys like this, which obviously I'm not saying, actually do it at this moment, but you do look around at guys like that and you're like, oh man, it sucks because like that guys like Ref Snyder are going to get the short end of the stick. Yoshida already is. And it's like, God damn, you guys are Major League caliber. There are so many teams that could use a guy like that. And here, it's just not room. But you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of stacked, let's keep chugging along here. The Red Sox rotation's a little stacked. Maybe not at this second. It'll take a minute. They'll be back. Couple men down at the moment. Team Cy Young pick. If you had to pick, Scott, I know it's hard, but is there one guy that stands out to you that you say, man, this might be like a difference maker, a guy like this on the Red Sox?
Yeah, this one, I really, it was a back and forth sway between, there's probably 6 guys I started with and had to whittle it down. Ended up with Garrett Crochet. I think the craziest part about this is that just how easy it is now, where last year I think we both went with like Pavetta. And we were talking about it could be Pavetta, it could be Brian Bayo. Like, that was the part. Like, when I got to this point, I was like, man, things have changed. Things have changed quite a bit, and I'm not against it. I don't like change. In this scenario, I was happy to make this pick.
Dude, I was on the MLB app earlier. If you guys don't have that, you should download it. It's really good. MLB, you can find it on the App Store. And I was scrolling through the schedule for opening day, just getting myself excited, and looking at the starter matchups and whatever. And as I'm going through them, there's a lot of guys that you're like, wow, he got the opening day nod. Like, wow, like that guy. And, then there's like the Dodgers that you're like, oh, they got Snell. They picked Snell arbitrarily out of a hat. It's like, could have been literally any of them. Okay, cool. And I guess it's not their opening day. Regardless, you go through and you get to the Red Sox. You see Crochet. Oh, it just feels good. It's like, yeah, that's an opening day starter. It's like Crochet, Scooble. There's a couple other guys. But like guys like that you're like, yep, absolutely, no doubt. Skeens. You're like, fuck yeah, that's an ace. And that's exactly why I picked Walker Buehler. Because I'm not chalk. I'm not here for chalk. I think, here's the thing. At the end of the year, I think Crochet will have better numbers.
Oh.
But, yeah, I know, bold. But there will be a time during this season where Walker Buehler is the horse of the rotation. There will be a section, call it leading up to the All-Star break, late June through the All-Star break, where Bueller is regularly giving you 7 and pumps you through maybe a tough stretch, the dog days, gets you through those. That's why I'm picking Bueller. I think there's going to be a stretch that matters a lot from Bueller is what I'm getting at.
Okay. So you're saying Walker Bueller for 6 games is going to be the MVP, the Cy Young, but then the rest of the 24 starts, you're going to go with Crochet. And I like that pick. That's a great pick. But you're going with
Do you
Bueller.
remember that season? I remember I think it was 2 years ago, where it was like Bayo and
Paxton.
Paxton. James Paxton.
Yeah.
Yes. Where they carried the rotation. It was like, wow, everybody blows, but these two guys are like, they haven't allowed a run in a month. It's going to be like that. There's going to be a stretch where like they're not putting it together and like things aren't going their way, but like, oh, we got a Bueller day. I think he's going to be the driving force there for a little bit. I think Bueller's. Listen, I also just didn't want to go chalk. I think Garrett Crochet is still going to end with better numbers than Walker Bueller.
You get the injury thing going for you.
What?
Like when we forget about the why at the end of the year, if Crochet gets hurt, like is very possible. That's something I just don't even want to talk about how likely that is because this is year 2 as a starter.
Yep.
The idea that like if he ends up pitching 12 games, you're going to look like a genius and you're going to forget your actual reasoning was ridiculous. And you're going to go, oh, yep, see, I saw the durability and I went with that.
Right. He's going to be the horse. He's going to lead. He's going to lead in starts and in innings pitched.
For those 6 weeks.
The whole year he's going to lead in innings pitched. And I'm saying there's going to be a stretch where we go, fuck, that's important.
Mm-hmm.
Who you got for biggest surprise? Actually, don't answer that. Because I got something I want to talk about first. Is that too much to ask? Is that all right if I say something?
If it better be something about how I can somehow make a good financial decision.
Dude, yeah.
Get out.
It is. I swear to God it is. Because Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Springtime is here and baseball season is officially underway. Don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the diamond in your Prize Picks lineup. Whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, or first inning runs, take your pick of more or less for your shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. How awesome is it we get a baseball read? That's kind of cool. It's been a while. It's basically 6 months or so.
Yeah.
And here's another thing. If you sign up today, you get $50 instantly when you play $5. Do I need to win to receive the money, you say, in your head or maybe out loud with your headphones on walking down the street? Stop talking to yourself. You look insane. And you don't need to win. It's guaranteed. Download the app today. Use code CLNS. Get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS. Get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. Scott, who you got for biggest surprise, dude?
I think the dick's going to fit this season. I think Richard Fitz is he's a guy, I'm buying the hype. I'm seeing the velo. I'm seeing the fact that he was like, he recently was like, I don't really like throwing off speed. So I found a changeup I could just absolutely hammer and it'll move in just because of the grip alone. And I'm just going to keep throwing the shit out of the ball and it's going to move now. And so I don't know. I liked what I saw last year. He looks like, I would argue, the most improved year to year on the big league roster. And he's just the forgotten man. But with this rotation, with Giolito already hurt, with Cutter banged up, with Bayo sort of hurt, with 2 injury-prone guys in Bueller and Crochet, I think you're going to see a lot of Richard Fitz, and I don't think he's going to disappoint.
I like that pick. I like that pick. I think the Sox sneaky have a handful of those kind of guys.
We got good depth.
5 starters. Yeah. If you lose a 5 starter, we got you. If your ace goes down, we don't really got you. But
we don't got you at all.
No. But if your 5 goes down, fuck it. Your 4 goes down. We got you. We got you for a little bit. Criswell, Priester, Fitz, fucking somebody else too, I'm sure. Definitely somebody else that I'm forgetting. Who else fits that bill?
Dude, I mean, we got Sean Newcomb right now, and he is
Rohan. People were all excited about him for a minute.
Yeah,
and
no,
then
it's
stopped.
not. We don't gotta go there. Let's stick with Sean Newcomb. We don't gotta go there.
I got
Chris
a
Murphy.
guy, maybe not biggest surprise. Although the category is biggest surprise. It's
Category
not what
you
I'm
came
getting
up
at.
with.
Category I came up with, biggest surprise, but I didn't. But whatever, our producer did. I'm gonna say it won't be a surprise to me. How about that? It won't be a surprise to me because I know how good this guy is. People will finally appreciate just how good David Hamilton is. Will he get an increased role? No. I was going to say probably not, but the answer is no. Impact guy. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. This is a long time bold prediction. David Hamilton has playoff moment written all over him. David Hamilton has something in him, much like Steve Pearce. Like there was some magic in 2018 where it was like, ooh, I bet you Steve Pearce is going to have a moment. He just feels like that kind of guy. David Hamilton has the same kind of thing. He has like a late game steal in him, or, an 0-2 RBI. Like he has something in him that you're like, you're going to remember 20 years from now. It'd be like, you remember David Hamilton? Like, oh, ALCS. How could I forget? That'll be us. 20 years from now. You'll be 30. Come on. That's a joke. Bold prediction is what I got next. We're to the fun ones. Bold prediction, weird prediction. The one that Scott was wicked excited about. Here they are. Scott, give me your bold prediction. It better be fucking bold this year, dude.
So I'm going to give you what I almost picked, and then I'm going to tell you what I picked.
Ooh, an honorable mention?
Yeah, and it kind of was like a build-up and part of a take. Originally, I was going to say the Red Sox win the AL East. And then I thought about it, and I said, I don't know if that's as bold as it should be.
It could be
Or
bold.
maybe it's – and so I'm going with I think the big three all finish in the top 10 for AL Rookie of the Year.
Wow. That is very bold. That means they all have to get up here early, too.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they all the first half get in there and find roles, I mean, it's gonna be tough. Like it's a logjam right now. It's gonna require injuries, but don't worry, we got a couple people that are gonna make that happen. Looking at you, 10, and so I think it'll happen naturally.
Wow. Big three, all top 10 Rookie of the Year. Wow.
Get some draft picks.
I like that.
Yeah.
Mine is I also had an honorable mention for mine. Because I originally had they were going to be 9-4 against the Yankees in the regular season this year. And then I said, I don't think that's bold enough.
Okay.
I think they're going to be 10-3 against the New York Yankees this year.
Wow. That's really aggressive.
It's really aggressive. Because, I mean, they play, 4 series, which, not enough. Not enough. You basically need to sweep them once and then win every other series. And win the 4-game series 3-1.
It's a lot.
I don't think that's that crazy. Because I'll tell you, Scott, I mentioned earlier, I'm scrolling through opening day starters. Tell me who the New York Yankees opening day starter is.
I would assume Max Fried.
It is Carlos Rodon.
Whoa.
Which is just funny optically. But it is Carlos Rodon, then Max Fried, and then I think they don't have any other pitchers. I think they don't have anyone else. Marcus Stroman might show up sometimes. I think he's like per diem. So I think they call him if they need somebody.
Got it.
But I think that's it. They have nobody else. So if they don't even have a pitcher, I think they just forfeit the game. I think the Yankees are going to be such dog shit ass this year. I was looking at the odds earlier to win the American League because that was going to be my bold prediction. It was like, they go to the World Series, whatever. The Yankees are still the fucking favorite to go to the World Series from the American League. Are we kidding? Are we kidding? The Red Sox are third in their own division. Third in their own division. It went Yankees, Astros, Orioles, Rangers, Red Sox. Politely disagree. Politely go fuck yourself. And that brings us to everyone's favorite. Weird prediction. Give me your weird prediction, dude.
I didn't want to be too predictable. I feel like this one you might be able to say with me. You might be able to like cut me off and be like, I know what he's about to say here. I think the United States leads a international war mid-season.
You think the U.S. starts a war in the middle of the season?
Yeah, mid-season. So that's why it's tied mid-Red Sox season. So I know it had to be tied to the Red Sox. So I think are
you talking like a civil war, or are you talking like U.S. v. Canada?
No, international. No. This one's gonna go overseas.
Okay. You know what? No, I should have seen that you were gonna do this. I
got one more if you want me to.
I got a question.
Yeah.
About war.
Oh. Go ahead.
What is it good for?
Mostly MVP tracking.
Oh. That's a good point.
Good, reliable.
Besides that, absolutely nothing. All right, go on. What's your other one? Do you actually have another one, or is that actually your weird prediction?
No, that counts for sure. But if I have to give an honorable mention, I would say that the Red Sox end the season not quite solving the second base situation. And I think that's partly because of, if Story stays, it gets real messy. But you're dealing with a situation with Marcelo Meyer, with Christian Campbell getting dibs right off the rip. Vaughn Grissom could just be awesome. And then David Hamilton. And so it's like, I think it's very realistic that for the entire year, we're just kind of like, I could see us monthly, maybe bi-weekly discussing like who should be the second baseman, like all year, where we're just not, it's just not a fulfilled thing where other positions will be, obviously. I think that's the one where it's going to be like, maybe you play this guy here and this guy has a good week, and it's like, oh, well, David Hamilton, if you're just going by talent this year, he actually has been the best right now, right this second. Or, Christian Campbell's got off to a slow start in this guy, and look at what Meyer's doing in AAA. Like, I think it's just going to be a potential, either not necessarily a carousel, but something that is just never like fully resolved in our minds, where it's like, okay, like this worked out. Here's it's going to be Campbell at second for the next 10 years. And, Meyer is just waiting for Story to go away. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Just a quick little comment here. And it's going to bum people out, but it's the truth. When Bregman inevitably opts out, this problem goes away. Be it at the end of this year or at the end of next.
I don't think, like you said, it's a lot of money this year.
I think it's 2 years. But that problem goes away. And second thought on something you said, call this my weird prediction, although it's not what I wrote down. We never see Von Grissom again. If we do, there's a problem. And it's going to be like, God damn, Von Grissom's playing. And then he's going to play like Von Grissom.
I thought you were going to add in the fact that you thought the war would be oil related.
Oh, I think every war is oil related.
That's not really like a bold prediction. But that's not what we're
that's
gonna
not
do.
that bold prediction. No, that's a cold
weird.
take.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be military action on the basis of profit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mid-season though. It's got to be
of
Red Sox. It's got to be Red Sox related. So you got to tie that into Boston.
Oh.
During the Red Sox season.
Yeah.
During the 2025 season.
Yes.
For the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah. Innocent people will die during the Red Sox season. I think ABS decides a game. I think that there's a game that's like we get a ninth inning ABS call, and I'm going to take it a step further. It's Tristan Casas. And I think that he does it without permission to do it, because that's how this is going to work. In case like you haven't heard, the inside scoop guys talk about how all this stuff is going to go, or like the former big leaguers talk about like how they expect it to go. It's going to be on a basis where like, Mike Trout has the go ahead. Use it. If you have it, use it. Other guys are going to be told, don't fucking challenge anything. Or there's going to be situations where, the analytics department takes a close look at umpires and then says, hey, if he misses on, a slider low, if he, calls it in there, he misses that pitch a lot. So you can challenge, a low slider call. But not everybody's going to have a green light to just go ahead and use it. I think Tristan Casas is going to use it, just without permission multiple times. But I also think that he uses it one time and like decides a game because of it. Scott?
I'm pretty sure we're not doing that for the regular season.
I'm so fucking stupid. It's not in this year. It's next year.
It's next year. You just made me real think, though. Real think. You got my head spinning on that one. So I think that's
I just had to answer this question to somebody the other day who was like, is it going in this year? And I was like, no, but it seems like next year.
I mean, early call for your next year's shot. Do you want to take? Oh, okay. I'll take the second base thing, and you can have my war crime thing.
Oh, it's a war crime?
It could be. I don't know. I'm just playing around.
Damn, I miss spring training baseball, dude. I miss ABS already. Also, Aaron Boone's a dumbass, huh? I mean, we've known, but like, it's so funny to watch him. Do you see his little thing about ABS on John Boy?
No.
Just saying he doesn't like it, and like he trusts the umpires and shit. It's like, brother, you are the guy who gets thrown out of games for yelling at umpires for missing calls. You know that, right?
Like the most in MLB history on like a per game basis. I'm pretty sure. Like he is on pace to, like, if he could manage for as long as some of the greats, he would do it. He would break that record for ejections. He would. That's insane. I did not hear that, but that's the most hypocritical comment I think in MLB history, and I don't think that's an exaggeration. That'd be like
crazy.
That'd be like Pete Rose just taking a tirade against betting. I mean, that is bold.
I'm going to pat myself on the back for not making a joke about Aroldis Chapman right there when we were talking about hypocrisy and not bringing up Aroldis Chapman or making some scenario where Aroldis Chapman could be a hypocrite,
Right.
Named the closer, which I have for my next category here. Closer. I picked Aroldis Chapman.
Well, opening day is the question. Yeah. Opening day.
Opening day closer. Who do you got?
I'm gonna go Chapman.
All
That
right,
was a
we'll
good
look
one.
back at this, see how this
That was a good
ages.
one. Yeah.
What do I actually write down for your weird prediction?
The second base. They don't solve the
Oh,
second
second
base situation
base.
in 2025. It's a conversation all year.
Second base not figured out. Okay. Now we're down to the big boys. 3 of them left, folks. We got team MVP, we got record prediction, we got postseason prediction. Give me that team MVP, dude. I can take it. I can handle it. Tell me like it is. Montame la pura.
I think it's got to be Devers if I'm going to predict him for 38 home runs. It's one of those things where war wise, I would lean probably Duran. No. If we're gonna go inside, that is how MVP is decided. I'm gonna go Jaron Duran. I think he does basically what he did last year, and it's better than what everyone else does.
Duran is like flying so under the radar this spring because there's so much spotlight on Devers and Bregman, and then the kids, obviously.
Everyone on earth is just like, well, yeah, he's gonna regress this year. And you know what they did? They said that last year. They said, well, now he's got to do it for a full season. What if he's just good?
There's a reality where Jaron Duran is just like an all-star. And that's probably the most likely reality. I think
Like
it'd
an
be
all-star
crazy
game
if he
MVP.
regressed. Every year he's the all-star game MVP.
That would have been a good weird prediction.
Mm.
Jaron Duran does it again.
That is a good weird prediction. Jaron Duran wins all-star game MVP again, and the airstrikes in Yemen continue all summer long.
Yeah. In season.
During the Red Sox season.
Got to tie back, yeah.
The United States of America commits war crimes, violate the Geneva Convention during the Red Sox season.
Yeah.
I got Bregman, and this is more hopeful than it is a prediction, but I'm saying it to will it into the universe. Would I have said this with a gun to my head? No. Am I saying it anyway? I guess. Because I feel like giving Devers the homer title is chalk. Bueller is like, you have to rely on something going wrong, or you have to follow my stupid ass logic to get to that. Bregman, like, does fit the model of a guy who would come here and be the team MVP. And it always is, or at least for the past, 4 years, the team MVP has been a guy acquired from the outside. No? Like, I guess Duran last year is like an exception to that, but before that it would be like Justin Turner.
Yeah, and honestly, Tyler O'Neill stays healthy, and he was on pace to do it. So, like, I think there's some legs to what you're saying.
And I think there's just going to be something special with Bregman in Boston. I think it just feels right. It's one of those guys that, like, I think Arenado here, it would look like one of those weird jerseys years from now that you're like, oh, I forgot Arenado was on the Sox at the end of his career. Bregman in Boston is going to feel right. Even if he is here for a year or 2 years. I think he's going to feel right at home. I think he's going to excel here. And obviously the monster plays to his bat profile. I think Bregman is one of the more clutch guys you got, too. One of the guys you really want at the plate in clutch situation.
Agreed.
Alex Bregman. All right. I'm nervous for this one, dude. I might throw up on the mic. I still can't believe I thought ABS was happening this year. Can we go back to that real quick?
I would think if I was you, I would want to not go back to that.
If I was me, I would want to cut it out of the show, but I'm not going to because I'm an honest man. Sometimes.
Maybe you'll cut it out and forget to cut this part out. That'd be kind of funny.
Record prediction. What do you got?
90 and 72. I was thinking about it, and I was like, originally I was going to think like look at the over-unders, like 87, 88. That feels about right. But then I was like, I think they can get to 90. I think this team has so much depth. That's the thing. They have starting pitching depth. They have, obviously lineup depth, position player depth. And their bullpen, we'll see. I mean, Winkowski's going to start in AAA. I talked about this in a previous show, but that's
Well, there's another 5 guy.
Yep, that's a guy that like used to be a very important part of this team. That just shows the depth because he didn't get worse. He just got passed over by a lot of people. Chris Murphy could just be like a really good player. Like there's just guys that the bullpen is the question mark in terms of depth, but it could work out. And I think if you have 2 out of 3, you get a really good chance. And the position players and the starting rotation is arguably, I would say, definitely the most important of the 3-person pie there, 3-position group pie. So I think it's a 90-win team, and I don't like the division either. I think the Yankees stink. The Rays are going to play outside. They're not even going to know what they're doing. The Orioles don't have a lineup, and I don't think the Blue Jays care. I just feel like
No.
I don't know what's going on over there. I don't care what it says on paper. Not that I'm scared of what it says on paper, but they just kind of stink always for no reason. They get overvalued every year until this year.
The Blue Jays as an organization feel like a marriage that's failing. It's like, oh, that's not good over there. It's just a tense house. It's like you don't want to be like you go over to your buddy's house and his parents are just like they don't really talk to each other. They don't really look at each other. When they do talk to each other, they're bickering and everything. You're like, oof, this is a bad atmosphere. That's how it feels in Toronto right now. I look over there and I'm like, oof, I feel like I should not be watching what's going on. The division does suck. The division sucks. The Rays are playing at George Steinbrenner Field, which not enough people are talking about how goddamn funny that is. That they're like hanging up tarps over the Yankees signage. Being like, we're the Rays play here. It's our home. It's our house now. And they don't know where they're playing next year, which is just bananas. The Orioles changed their field again.
Every
and
year.
Talk about their lineup. They don't have a rotation. Dean Creamer. I'll bring him up every time.
Did I say they don't have I meant they don't have a rotation. If I said lineup, they do have a lineup. They don't have a rotation. That's what I meant
do have
to
a
say.
lineup. They don't have a rotation, and the whole team of children thing. Even more true now. The team of kids with some bad starters. That's what the Orioles are now, and I already gave my thoughts on the on ye old Yankees, which is why I have the Red Sox 93-69, winning the division.
Wow.
Number 1 seed in the AL.
I like that the Red Sox have the hype this year. Like, there are a lot of people saying, believe in the Red Sox this season. Look at what they've done.
I don't think I'm too ingrained in the culture to miss out on what other teams are doing. Like, I don't think I have blinders on. I don't think I'm too close to the forest to see the trees, which is the phrase?
Yes.
I don't think I'm too close to the forest to see the trees. I can see it. I see the trees, man. I see the trees. And the trees suck. The Sox are going to beat all of these trees to death with hammers.
There's one tree that I'm a little worried about. There's a couple of trees in the National League I'm a little worried about.
I'm talking about this forest. This forest over here.
This side of the forest I feel really good about. The division of the forestry we're in, I feel great about.
Even the League of the Forest.
The League of Forest, I'm feeling pretty solid as well.
When you talk about the other League of Forests, there's a lot. There's some sycamores over there. There's some redwoods.
Tell you what, if we got to deal with the other League of Forests, we've already won this season.
Absolutely, which is a perfect transition. Give me your postseason prediction.
You go first on this one. What are you gonna do?
Am I gonna say it?
I don't know. Well, I hope not.
I think they lose in the postseason.
Oh.
In Game 6 of the World Series.
Who are they going to play?
Probably the Dodgers.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the more you look at the American League, I just have a hard time believing. I mean, look, the Astros are always the Astros. They're going to find a way.
Time.
Like last year, I predicted them to not make the playoffs. And then at the All-Star break, they were like 11 games out of a playoff spot. And then they made the playoffs. And it's like, I don't know how they do it. They just do it. So am I going to count them out? No. But all the other teams that are favored to come out of the American League, I'm going to count out. The Yankees, forget it. The Orioles, we can rehash that for a fifth time. And the Rangers, like I'm not. The Rangers have some studs. The Red Sox have a fucking stacked team. I'm sorry, dude. They're here. It's here. It's all here right now. So no, I don't think anybody in the American League can stop the Boston Red Sox. I think they put up an honorable fight. Probably losing Game 5 of the World Series, but I'm sticking with my prediction. I said Game 6, but regardless, they go to the World Series this year.
Here's the thing. I let you go first because I was going to let you sway my opinion on this one. This was one where I just left it blank, and I said I don't know how I feel about this. And I also don't like postseason predictions because I feel like that's so hard. We're a couple of years removed from Rangers, Diamondbacks. But I'll say you sold me on the fact that like I really can't. If I have to, I was thinking in my head, where is this team? Big leap from last year, 500 team. Where was the growth? And to me, that's like they make it to the division series, maybe the ALCS. But to your point, I do think they're the best team in the American League. So I guess I'm going to say they lose in 5 to the Dodgers in the World Series because I don't think they're going to give much of a fight to the Dodgers. But you're right. I think, and also it's so random,
Yeah. The Diamondbacks Rangers is a perfect example of just how random October is and how quick it is too. That's the other thing is like 7-game series is just standard. It's so fucking quick when it comes and go. And a 5-game series, they got to fix that. There's no reason for the DS to be 3 of 5. Absolutely no fucking reason.
The other thing too, I'm just going to say about this, I feel like there are people that are going to say that the people are overhyping the Red Sox and that you can't make, last year they haven't been good in a long time. Now they get a couple of pieces and everyone's excited. I'd like to remind those people that in 2023, the Kansas City Royals won 53 games. 56 games, I'm sorry. They lost 56 and 106, and they made the postseason the following year, last year. And what we have to do is significantly less in terms of building ground. And there are 2 top 12 prospects left as ammo that didn't even make the cut. So this is a front-loaded team with a lot of ammo down the pipeline.
If you just want to look at it like this, they were 81 and 81 last year. Have they improved? Are they 7 games better? Yes.
Certainly.
Are they 10 games better? Think so. Think right around there.
If you think about the Royals, like what was their big ad? Michael Wacha? They had Seth Lugo. Like those are the type of ads that were made to really push that team over, as well as some internal development. Our internal development is fantastic. And then you add guys like Crochet and Bregman, and that's, it's starting to make sense, starting to come together. Walker Buehler and Garrett
don't
Crochet
forget Buehler.
versus Seth Lugo, and yeah. I also think Willie Abreu is going to be awesome. I'm upset that I didn't get to mention him at all, but I really my only thing is he'll platoon. That's the only thing limiting me from being like that guy's going to be a stud this year. I hate that everyone is just overlooking him. I get that Roman Anthony is coming, but that is a very, very good baseball player.
It's a good ball player. And there's also a reality, just to poo-poo on your whole parade, there's also a reality where he's the odd man out, which sucks, but,
Nope. Too good.
Candidate for regression.
It's better than Rafael.
You think so?
Nope.
It is kind of wild they extended Rafaela so quick, huh?
So quick.
Bayo, too. I forget about that all the time.
Yeah, both of those choices were interesting. I feel like they weren't the prospects that you look at and you go, you better lock those guys up.
Here, let's do one more prediction. Do they work out an extension with anybody during the season?
I'm going to say no. I feel like in-season extensions, the only one I can really think of that wasn't. I mean, like I think
Rafael
technically
and Bayo,
Whitlock.
right?
No, they were. Bayo was while they were in Puerto Rico, doing exactly what they're doing now, just before. And Rafaelo, I think, was even earlier in the spring. Whitlock was like, I believe, either the day before opening day or the first series. I think that was during the first. I think that technically was in season. The only one I can really remember that was in season, that was legitimately in season, was Matt Barnes.
Wow.
Like of recent memory, at least. I don't. I just. It's not even like I don't know. I just think it. If you, it hasn't happened yet. I think there still could be something that happens in the next like 24 hours, but when that first ball is thrown, I think it's tough to envision more contract talk after that point.
I'm with you. I don't think that they do. I don't think they do. But speaking of Red Sox extensions, which at this moment, all pretty tough. All pretty tough when you look around the diamond at the just the extensions. None of them look all too amazing. Minus the fact that they did lock up Rafael Devers. And you can read this on Newsweek at some point. This article's going up soon. Well, I'll spoil it for you right now. Rafael Devers moving to DH at $31.35 million, or $31.53 million, the second highest AAV for a DH in Major League Baseball. Do you want to guess who number one is, Scott?
Shohei Ohtani.
I didn't count Shohei Ohtani because he's not. And his AAV actually comes out to something weird. And he's not a DH. He's two players.
Did you say in history or active?
I did. Well,
Probably
both.
the same.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a DH with a higher AAV. Is it? No, Pete Alonso wouldn't count. Jordan? He didn't get Did he get that big of a deal? I didn't think
Nope.
so.
This was a guy who originally signed as an outfielder, but it was always like he was going to be a DH.
Schwarber? I still don't believe that answer. I know that's not the right answer. He was an outfielder that became a DH.
Yep.
And we knew that. Again.
Yeah, we knew he was going to be a DH. This might be his last season. He might not play much. He's in the league.
I'm gonna be real mad at myself when
He's
I
in
get
the
this
division.
answer right. Stanton. Giancarlo Stanton. I apologize. I forget that he is a person all the time.
Yeah, he is. He's not really playing this year, but yeah, $32 million for DH Stanton. So I will say about the Devers thing, although not shocked, seeing those numbers, it is kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy. And the thing is, everybody said it at the time. All the radio callers were like, paying that much money for a DH? And it's like, shut up. Shut up. But also, now that it's here, hand up. I'll sound like an old. There's a little piece of me that's like, that is a lot for a DH. Year two, like 2 years after the contract. 2 years? I thought it would be more like 4. So, because you don't make the transition back. We've said that before in this show. You don't make the transition back. Steve, I was talking to Steve Peralt, and he said, he was like, I think if they need somebody at third, that Raffy would say no. That like if there's an injury, they're short, they're whatever. He's like, I don't think Raffy would do it. I think Raffy would say no.
I almost made my weird prediction how many games Devers plays at third, but then I didn't feel like I had a good answer because I think that would be interesting to have him out there. I've so not cared about that. Like, I just don't care about put the team together. And once the season starts, the money doesn't matter at all. And I agree with you. I thought it was going to be a lot longer before this transition happened. I was on the side of like I thought it would have been a lot longer, like 6, 7 years. But uh, I just don't care. Like we've seen the value of a DH in Boston more than any other team in history. And you
Mhm.
can't tell like do you care like if Ortiz had made as much like the most money in the big leagues during that stretch, would you have given a single fuck? Because I wouldn't have. I would have been like, give him more.
No, but if the luxury tax is like what prevents the team from continuing to acquire players, then yeah, because it's a uncapped league that's capped. It's capped.
Okay, if in free agency
Mhm.
you had known for a fact that he was going to be a DH in 2 years,
Yeah, you would have lost him.
and he right. So would you have been okay with that? Would you
No,
have said don't go over 270 and if you lose him, you lose him?
no, not at all.
Yeah.
I would
So
have been
people
upset
need
about it.
to
I would have stomped my feet.
yeah.
And I would have said, "You're the Boston Red Sox. Pay him $350."
Yeah. Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And I
So
agree.
it's a hypocritical argument, no doubt at all. There just is a stupid piece of my brain that goes, "Oh, that's a lot for a DH already. He's DH already, huh? Sucks. That sucks."
The
But
number
also,
two, I mean,
y-
second highest
you're
paid
feeling
DH
it.
in the AL East.
Yeah, not even the highest paid DH in the division.
And he's the best. So it's really a value in the AL East.
Yeah. Wow. Spin zone.
Vladdy will soon become the third. He'll be the highest paid. You go ahead. He'll be a DH.
I don't really know all the Vladdy to Boston. I don't know. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
I doubt
There's
it.
a log jam here, brother. Wait, we're gonna
Yep.
get rid of Cassis? Please don't. Is Vladdy better than Cassis? Some could argue.
For now, but give him a full season.
Give him a full season. Bold prediction: Tristan Cassis' 2025 puts Vladdy's 2021 to shame.
Whoa, I thought you were gonna put the 25s against each other, and I was gonna be with you. But okay, that's bolder.
Yeah, Colorado.
Deion Sanders.
Shador, right? Who do you think the Pats take it for, dude?
I think it's probably just gonna be Will Campbell. If you had asked me before the Russell Wilson signing, I would have said Travis Hunter.
I think Travis Hunter would be sweet.
Good take. I think there's a world. There's a world. Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers goes to the Steelers. This is what we're looking at. We're looking at for some reason. All right, we obviously know Cam Ward's going one, even though he's not that good. You also know that the Browns are probably going to take Abdul Carter, even though he's not as good as Travis. He is better than Travis Hunter, but you got to take the Otani potential of Travis Hunter, but they're not going to. The Giants could fall in love with Shador Sander, and then Russell Wilson is just a 1 year stopgap. And then Travis Hunter falls. If not, I'm not happy.
I think it'd be
You
sweet.
want my
And I
mouth.
think you got to do the Shohei Otani. You got to let him play both
You
sides of the ball. I
got
think
to.
that's
You
sick.
gotta. At least in the red zone with defense and let him play receiver a lot. But I think he let him play both the whole time.
Yeah.
I think
Make
people
history.
are like,
Make a spectacle of the New England Patriots again, you know? Make people tune in and be like, "Oh, I want to see Hunter do this."
we just did the whole, oh, well, you can't do both. Like, there's no way at the highest level you're going to do both. A guy just did it better than everyone ever.
Mhm.
And now, like 3 years later, everyone's like, this, you can't do it at the highest level both ways. No one can do that. There's one guy
Yeah.
on the planet doing it right now. Yeah, it's a different sport. It's more physical. It's better conditioning. He's doing it in college. Like the conditioning isn't going to get much harder. The games, I don't know. They're slower at the NFL level. There's more TV timeouts. And then there's the can he stay healthy part, but he did it once, so maybe I don't know. Willie, I don't know. Who cares? Try it.
I'm all for it. I think it'd be sweet. Do
That's
it
my closing thought.
in fucking Boston, in Foxborough.
Foxborough.
Did I tell you about the Revs game thing?
You're going to the Revs game.
Yeah, I'm going to a Revs game. They're like $6. Get on there. I don't think we need to do emptying our brain of thoughts. I think we kind of did it.
I just did it right there. The Patriots draft.
That was your emptying your brain of thoughts?
Sure.
Oh. All right. Well, we won't do it then. It was a fun season predictions episode.
Yep.
I thought that maybe your bold or your weird was going to like catch my eye. I guess your bold did. Big 3 all in top 10 rookie of the year is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing. I just finger on the trigger over there.
Oh, you think I have? You think I'm
Yeah.
going to play it because I said that I'm not going to? No.
Yeah, I do.
No.
You didn't think my weird one was weird?
Your
The
weird
bombing
one?
and stuff, the war.
The ABS system?
No, that was yours. The war stuff. You didn't think the war stuff was weird?
Oh, the war crimes?
In season.
Oh, where? Yeah. Related to the Boston Red Sox. Yeah, the war crime stuff was pretty sweet. It's not as fun when I don't get to interrupt you, but I have one. I played some ball this week, dude. I played baseball. With a pal. I just got out. It was like, yeah, let's play some catch. And then he busted out a bat and a bucket of balls. I was like, let's toss some PP. And I was like, I don't know if I can do it. I'll toss to you. And then he's like, step in, brother. And it took me about 4 swings to realize this is going to hurt my body head to toe for a long time. You don't just have it. It's the opposite of riding a bike. It's like riding a unicycle. It's something you have to practice so regularly to stay in baseball shape. And everybody says that, baseball shape, because there's muscles that are sore right now that I forgot that I had. My hip abductors, my butt cheeks, my neck majoris.
You forgot you had butt
hurts.
cheeks?
I forgot I had butt cheeks, dude.
All right.
But
Yeah, I'm at that point too where like I went to the driving range last year for the first time this summer and I was sore for like 3 days.
Awful, dude. And it's so dumb to say this, but it instantly does make you appreciate 162. You do it one time, you hit 2 buckets of baseballs in BP soft toss from your pal, and you're like, oh my God, they do this how much? Like my whole body hurts. My toes hurt, dude. My ears are a little sore. All right. That's all I got. It's going to be Scott's got something.
I was just going to say my ears are sore too from hearing your garbage predictions earlier.
What the hell was that?
That's a little jab. That's what we do. We go back and forth.
Yeah, well, it was fucking uncalled for.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Follow us on the socials or something. I don't care. I'm going to go. I'm going to go. Okay. You follow us on the socials at ITM_pod. You can follow me at Joey Copponi. You can follow him at Scott Neville 46. Just like how many bombs Rafael Devers is going to hit this year? -5. And we will see you guys Sunday. Well, Monday morning for you guys. Scott is now realizing we do 2 shows a week now. Let's talk about games. Happy opening day, everybody. Enjoy it. Enjoy the smell of the peanut guy. Enjoy the sound of Tom Caron's voice. Enjoy Dave O'Brien being there. Enjoy opening day. And go Sox, kid.